guys, and welcome to my channel. This is a video response to a survivor on my private support group. I posed a question about a week ago. What has been the hardest or most challenging thing in a healing process for you? And this survivor said, erasing the image of his sadistic face. Yeah. Now, narcissistic abuse is typically a trauma that a person experiences, and we all have something called a memory. And sometimes in psychology, we actually forget certain things when we go through a traumatic experience. We may forget the person's face, the name, and we may black out certain points or parts or the experience because it's so devastating for us that our mind actually does that to us. All right. But this person fully remembers, her abuser's face. And that's more typical, that you're going to remember that person's face, that person's eyes. And because they did something so unpleasant and traumatic, we kind of, a lot of times, knee-jerk psychologically make them the boogeyman, make them a big bad monster because they did monstrous things to us. And yes, in their energy and their essence, they're a monster, but there are also some other things here. Okay. And let me just say this. And I'm definitely not minimizing your experiences, but I remember as a child watching Freddy Krueger movies, and he used to terrorize me as a child. I seen this guy, and he was hunting people in their dreams and killing all these young teenagers and children and people. And he was very scary to me as a child. But I revisited those movies as an adult in my adult mind. And when I go back and watch it, he looks like a complete joke. Like, I look at him and it's like, what a loser, what a joke. And yeah, I'm like, he got a cheese pizza face, and like my view of him is different. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up this example is because a lot of times we make people bigger than they are. Like a lot of times you hear me say, they're not your maker, they're not this and that, because they're not. Because they're not. And I'm not even going to say a lot of times, all the times with these narcissists, they're cowards. They're cowards. Some of them are bums, losers. Like, they're jokes. Once you really understand what they are, what they're bringing into your life, they become jokes, and they become as small as a tick or a grain of sand, and they have no power over you. Just think of the girl in the Freddy Krueger movie that would face him and ultimately kill him. She didn't have fear. This survivor who's remembering the sadistic face, she still has a lot of fear energy around her in regards to the abuse. And I understand because, we're in the real world here, and these people do horrible things. They abuse people on every level possible, and they do everything to try to break your spirit, and it can feel haunting afterwards, especially in the beginning of the healing process. But even I can vouch in my situation, I started out having nightmares about the narcissist. But as I progressed in a healing process and my mentality shifted on how I viewed this person, he wasn't the boogeyman to me anymore. I seen him more as this coward. Like, my look, it went from a fear base to more like a disgust and like remedial, extremely, extremely remedial, extremely ignorant, extremely lost, and definitely still demonic and all of that. So I would advise this survivor to consider the story of the image that you are portraying this person on, and how mighty you're making them for their acts of cowardice. Okay? Now, as far as erasing the face, this is less likely to happen because this person is very memorable. They may have been a catalyst in your life, obviously, to help you learn about narcissistic abuse. But what you can change is what that face represents to you. We don't want to empower the criminal. We don't want to empower this sadistic, demonic coward. You know, we don't want to empower them by putting them on some type of mighty throne and making them this boogeyman when they're cowards. Shameless, ruthless cowards. Okay. And now that you actually understand them, you're actually more powerful than them. And this is what I tell people in coaching sessions all the time. You actually are the one that changes while they stay the same. That gives you an extreme upper hand in life moving forward. If that type of energy ever comes crosses your path again, or they think that, you know, you never changed and that they can run that ish with you again. So let's change what that face means to you, and it becomes less scary. Strip them of titles and power that you are assigning to them. Okay? And I hope that helps you. Take care.